Hello everyone, my name is Ivo and welcome to Cooking with the Koyas. As you know, cooking at home is one of the best things you can do. And today folks, we're going to make bagels. Not only are they fun to make and easy to do, but they're absolutely delicious. You make them right here at home and it doesn't take that long. Let's get started right now. First things first, you're going to want to have 500 grams of flour. It could be a high protein all-purpose flour, a bread flour is great, or even a high protein 00 flour. Okay, 500 grams. To that, we're going to add 8 grams of yeast, which is about 2 1/4 teaspoons, or one of those packets if you buy the small packets. Instant yeast, instant dry yeast. Let's just mix that in a bit. Okay, and now I have here about 1 1/2 teaspoons, which is 10 grams of fine table salt. You could also use sea salt if you'd like. And then our secret ingredient, Diastatic Malt Powder. It's a superfood for yeast. It's all natural and it helps with the browning and of course adds a little bit of flavor. So I have here 5 grams, which is about 1 1/2 teaspoons of Diastatic Malt Powder. You know I use that all the time. It's a key ingredient. Okay, we're just going to mix all our dry ingredients together. Then add our wet ingredients. We're going to start with 300 grams of just room temperature water. 300 grams of water. And then another secret ingredient, apple cider vinegar. 1 teaspoon, which is about 5 grams. So 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. In it goes. I could have actually just added it to my water, but anyhow, that's it. Now, quite simply, we have all our dry ingredients, we have our wet ingredients. We're just going to mix them all together, get it kind of started, and then we're going to, of course, we're going to remove it from the container and knead it. So let's get it to a kind of a shaggy dough. Okay, scrape down the edges and let's get it on the counter. As you can see, it's just kind of a rough dough right now. In case you're wondering, this is about a 61% hydration, so it's going to be somewhat firm, let's say. All right. So our dough is now made, or started, I should say. And now what you're going to want to do is just get everything together, get it to come together, and we're going to want to knead this to a firm, elastic style dough. So let's pick up all this flour, just kind of squeeze it together, and we want to pick up all this flour. And as far as the kneading goes, you're going to want to knead it for about 10 minutes. So we're going to get that gluten network going, and we're going to really create a nice, firm, elastic dough. So just keep picking up all the flour. You can see we have most of it now picked up, but not all. We're just going to keep working it until it's all picked up. And then we're going to knead it just like this. With the palm of your hand, just fold the dough over and push down and kind of lean into it. You could use 2 hands, whatever you're comfortable with. And as you can see, basically all our flour is pretty much picked up now. So I can continue kneading this for about 10 minutes because as you can see right now, it's just kind of a rough dough. We want it to be a nice, smooth, elastic, firm dough. Okay, 10 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes and it's already starting to feel like an amazing dough. A little bit sticky, but not really sticking to you. So another 5 more minutes. Okay, it's now been 10 minutes and our dough is absolutely beautiful. It feels great, it looks great, and after that workout, all we need to do now is give it a rest. So we're going to put it in a container with the lid on. We're going to let it double in size, typically around an hour and a half. So let's let it double in size and we'll come right back. It's been an hour and a half and our dough has risen nicely. Okay, so let's remove our dough. Oh yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, when you put your dough in your container, I should have mentioned, you could also lightly oil it, okay, as well, just so it's a little bit easier to remove. Okay, and out comes our dough. There we go. All righty, so you can just punch it down a little bit. And now we're going to divide these up into 8 pieces. We're going to make 8 bagels. So basically, each piece is going to be roughly about 100 grams per piece. So I will cut these up. And in fact, we could weigh. That's about 85, 95, 100. So each piece, roughly 100 grams, you're going to take the dough, and what we want to do is shape it into a round. We're going to do a little 4-fold. Just fold the dough over onto itself, and then on the dry counter, just kind of pull it towards you, just like we're making our pizza doughs. Right? There we go. Except it's, of course, much smaller. So there, we have a nice little round that we've made. They're a tight round, I'm going to say. And now you just pat it down just a bit. And we're going to want to poke a hole in the middle. Now, I'm going to use just the end of a wooden spoon, but honestly, your thumb works great. Okay, so you basically want to at least get a hole in the middle, and then with your fingers or thumbs, spread it out. You want about 2 inches or so of a hole in the middle, because the hole is going to collapse somewhat as they have their second rise. So just spread it out nicely. Try to get it as even as you can. So it's already shrinking back a bit, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Just pull and stretch. Okay. And that's looking pretty good right there. Okay. So once you have about that 2 inch and you have it as consistently as you can, right? What I went and did was I lightly oiled a sheet of parchment paper on this cookie sheet, and just so it doesn't stick, and I'm going to put the bagel onto the lightly oiled cookie sheet. So I'm going to do the same now with all these other pieces. Okay, and there we have our last one right there. Very nice. Okay, there's our 8 bagels right there, and what they need to do now is just give a little rest, 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to just cover them up, and we're going to give them a little rest for 10 to 15 minutes. And during that time, I'm going to put a pot of water on the stove and bring it to a boil. It's actually been about 15 minutes, and there are our beautiful bagels. As you can see, the holes have closed a little bit as the bagels have risen, and that's perfectly normal and perfectly fine. That's why you want that extra 2-inch space to begin with. Okay, so with our boiling water, we need to season our water, and we're going to do so with 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And you're going to want at least 2 liters of water, which is about 2 quarts. And to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. And this is also very important. So let's get our honey in there. It's going to help with the glaze and the stickiness. So because we're doing this method, we do not need to use an egg wash, which I believe is less traditional anyhow, to use an egg wash. So the honey goes into our water, and we're going to mix it all in. Okay, now that our water has been, let's say, seasoned, we can now begin to boil our bagels. So let's take a bagel, We don't want to overcrowd them. So I'm going to put 2 in. And actually I could probably do 1 more. We'll do 3. Okay. So we want to boil them for 1 minute per side. Oh yes, don't they look nice already? That's been a minute, so now we're going to turn them. Just flip them over. All right, and we're going to give them another minute on the other side. And while that minute is happening, we're going to make, I'm going to do everything bagels. So as opposed to sprinkling the everything bagel spice on top, I like to put it into a bowl and then take the bagel and press it into the spice. So I will prep that. That is ready. I've got my drying rack here, and those need about another 30 seconds maybe. All right, and our second minute is up. So let's take our boiled bagel, take our next one. Very nice, very nice. And finally our last one. Okay, now while they're still hot, we're going to want to dress them. So I'll let them just drain just a bit more, but they're still going to be hot. We're going to let them drain a bit. And while that's happening, we're going to carefully drop 3 more bagels into our water. Okay? There we go, and start the timer again for another minute. Okay, it's been a minute. We're going to turn those over and give them a minute on the other side. And again, while these are hot, let's take a bagel and let's get it coated with that beautiful everything bagel spice. There we go. Okay, and that's going to go right back on our parchment paper. And do the next one. Get it completely covered. And 1 more. Let's get that covered. There we go. That's our 3rd one right there. Actually, let's get a little more on there. All righty. Spiced up nicely. And in fact, it's been a minute. These can come out. So same process, folks. Out they come. Excess water. Actually, these ones I'll probably let them drain just for a few seconds, and I'm going to spice them up while they're even hotter. And that honey that we put in is perfect for the stickiness. All right, let's drop these guys in. 2 left. In they go. Our timer is going to go for 1 minute, and let's take that bagel while it's still hot and season it up. Oh yeah, that's nice. You do it while they're hot so that the spices stick better. Okay, let me continue to spice these while our bagels cook for the 1 minute timer. Off goes the stove. Last but not least, our last 2 beautiful boiled bagels. And drip a little bit. Drip a little bit. Get that excess water off. And let's get them spiced up. And there we have them. 8 bagels ready for the oven. Speaking of which, I have had preheating at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to put them into our oven. And everyone's oven is different, so keep an eye on your oven. I'm going to say it's generally 20 minutes to bake these bagels. Could be a minute or 2 less or a minute or 2 more, depending on your oven and your level of doneness, but we're going to aim for about 20 minutes. So it's been 20 minutes. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah. They are done. Oh yes. Take a look at those beautiful bagels right there, folks. Everything bagels. You gotta love that. Okay. Yes. The oven is off. And let's take these bagels and we're going to let them cool on a rack, on a cooling rack, so they don't sweat and get wet on the bottom. And of course, folks, we are definitely going to do the taste test, but I got to let them cool down a bit. Ideally 30 minutes, but if not, we'll let them go at least 15. And there we have it. Okay. I'll give them at least 15 minutes and then we'll do the taste test. Now for the hard part. Which one are we going to start with first? How about this one right here? Look at that nice golden hue with the honey we put in there. It's got a nice golden color to it. Absolutely beautiful. Hey, isn't that nice? And the bottoms, of course, the bottoms are cooked perfectly. Okay, so they're still a little warm. I could wait a little longer, but I'm going to slice it open, and it's warm enough that I don't even need to, whoops, got a little spice on there. I don't even need to bake them, toast them, but I'm going to toast them anyhow. So in the toaster it goes. Let's give them a light toasting. All right. So they are now nice and lightly toasted. I made myself an espresso. Cheers. Okay, and I'm going to butter these bagels, and I am not going with the cream cheese. No cream cheese today, folks. Just butter. Just butter. And that's enough butter. Get that melted onto these bagels. Oh yeah. Oh yes, that's looking good. All right. Yeah, a little bit of cream cheese would have been nice, more New York style, but just plain butter. We're going to give it the taste test just the way it is right there. Just with a nice little melted butter right there. Let's do the crunchy one, the thinner one. This one came thinner than this one. Let's do this one. You're talking professional bakery style bagels right here. Let's try the thicker one. Perfect texture. It's got a great chew, and that little bit of honey on the outside gives you that little bit of stickiness that you get in the bagels. Absolutely perfect. Easy to make. Less than 3 hours, start to finish. You'll have yourself some beautiful, authentic bagels made right at home. No problem at all. I really hope you give my bagel recipe a try. I think you're going to really love them. And I want to thank you for spending time with me in the kitchen on today's episode of Cooking with the Koyas. And as always, until next time, bon appetito and salud. Oh yeah. You're going to love these bagels. I don't think you can get any better. Seriously.